YouTube, how the heck we doing? Welcome back to another video. Hey, look, Bitcoin just hit $124,000. Today's August 13th, 2025. Not sure when you're watching this video. I want to talk briefly about, am I selling? As we pop over here, you can see we're at $124,000. And if you guys have been around my channel, you know that I bought 1.0186 Bitcoin November of 22, shared it with the world so nobody could say I didn't tell them. Spent 16,000 and some change to buy that one coin, and that, as of 10 minutes ago, is worth $126,150.97. So we've turned 16,000 into 110,000 net profit so far, and obviously I'm not showing that to brag, because I literally created the video before it happened. Showing that to say, hey, look, I still have skin in this game. And the question is, am I selling? And for a lot of you guys, you're wondering, like, should I sell my Bitcoin? Are we at the end of the cycle? All those sort of things. And I want to spend some time today to talk about my perspective. Now, I want to talk about the negative perspective first. The negative perspective is that Bitcoin has never exited this ascending channel. This is the weekly time frame going all the way back since 2018. We had the high of 2017. We had the high of 2021. And then we, of course, tested this just a little bit ago right here in early July. We just can't seem to break out of this. And I haven't made my decisions off of this channel. This channel isn't something that I've been making my decision to sell off of, but I want to share the negative side first, because this is your enemy. If you're a holder of Bitcoin just like me, this is our enemy right now. At the end of the day, yes, it's only technical analysis, and I'm not taking into account the fact that we have the most bullish president, not bullish, but the most Bitcoin-friendly president, I would say, actually, maybe the most bullish. We've got buyers across the board, from nations to companies. It's sort of becoming like the Hunger Games out here of who can acquire the most Bitcoin. I just put a pretty interesting video up recently about Michael Saylor and his strategy. It seemed like it took off. I think we had 160,000 views on that thing. A lot of you guys seemed to like it, and a lot of people commented, oh, you must be a hater of Bitcoin. Literally, I want Bitcoin to go up, not a hater of Bitcoin. I would love for this to go bonkers. I would love Michael Saylor to have success. That's going to help me out. But at the end of the day, I want to talk about what I've based my decisions off of this entire time. And of course, as you guys know, it's all about power law. And so when we look into power law, we got to go to the logarithmic scale to do this. I'm going to hide all of this. Let's take all this away. Let's just look at this at a log format. Let's pull up our power law, and let's see where we're at. As you can see, we are currently between the fair market value, which is our blue line, and our moderately overbought line, which is green. We've been here before. We got moderately overbought back in November of 24, right after the election. We've been here before. But one thing is certain. Every cycle that we have seen in Bitcoin's history has at least gone to the yellow line. In fact, it's gone much further, but they've all gone to the yellow line. Previous to this, we can see it's gone here again to the yellow line. And if we continue to follow these same cycles, and that's a big if, I just said if we can continue to follow the same cycles, then I can comfortably say we should be able to get to the yellow line. Now, the reason I bring up the yellow line is I think that the yellow line has been something I've been keeping my eye on as sort of my personal exit strategy. I'm not a quote-unquote Bitcoiner. What I mean by that is I haven't been a maxi. In fact, and hopefully you guys can respect this, I was a hater of Bitcoin up until probably COVID. And the reason COVID changed me was I realized just how simple it was for them to inject more cash into our economy, and how Bitcoin was something that was allowing us to solve that issue, and how Bitcoin was something that was solving the issue of, if I want to wire you money right now, the banks are closed and I can't, but I could send you Bitcoin. A lot of different things being solved in that. And I became, I wouldn't say a believer, but at least a little bit more of a believer, enough of a believer to at least put a tiny bit of money, 16,000 and some change, into buying it. The reason I say that is I'm going to be, hopefully, I'm speaking out loud here, I guess we'll know if I'm right or wrong, I'm going to hopefully be an early exiter. Now, you might say, well, Patrick, if you're an early exiter, you should probably already be out. And you might be right. But I'm hopefully going to be a yellow band exiter. I've been kind of keeping that mindset really for quite some time. The yellow band is where I would like to exit according to the power law. And according to the power law cycle, in terms of where we are in the timing of this, which I think is the timing is also just a massive piece of importance. When we look at this, here's the timing. When we look at this, we go transition from bear to bull, transition to full bull, top, bottom. Transition from bear to bull, transition to full bull, top, bottom. Transition from bear to bull, transition to full bull. We are currently, if you can't see it, right here. This is the top. We are getting towards the top. This is the timing in which, if we follow the same 4-year cycle, plenty of literature out there saying the whole cycle thing's dead. It might cost me millions of dollars looking back on this video. Who knows? But if the cycle were to continue, the next year is the top. What I mean by that is we have typically seen the top happen from the end of a year, like November, till, say, I don't know, March. So if that follows, we're going to be seeing, again, a cycle top towards the end of 2025 or early 2026. This is all hypothetical. I mean, at the end of the day, we don't know exactly what is going to happen. But according to power law, if we break the current area we are in, that's where I would probably become liquidity, quote unquote, in the market. I would sell. That's 148,500 as of right now. Now, what's funny is that number continues to move higher because of the nature of power law. It continues to go up. So at one point, I said 135. 135 became 140. 140 has become 148. At one point, way back when, I think I said I'd sell at 75. I didn't. Then at 90, I didn't. Then at 100, I didn't. I think there's something that we can take from this, guys. It's much harder to sell an asset that's made you some money than buy it. You guys on the other end of the screen watching this YouTube video right now, listen to this real quick. You guys are, thinking to yourself, oh, Patrick, well, it's really easy. You should just sell. You make $110,000. That is easier said than done. When you're on my end of the spectrum, you got to realize that you're trying to make the best decisions with your money you possibly can. What I mean by that is, if I were to sell today and make, $110,000-ish net profit, $125,000 gross profit, or $126,000 gross profit, where would I put the money other than in a 4.5% savings or a money market fund? I'm a type of person that I want to find a home for every dollar. And right now, I don't know where I would put that money. And so I'm thinking, do I have a better chance of making money by holding Bitcoin in this current state where we're printing money like crazy? Money supply across the globe has become the highest it's ever been just in the past month. We've got an administration that's as bullish as it's ever been. We've got legislation really as loose as it's ever been. To me, there's a risk associated with right now selling this. And so, as we kind of clamor through this and we talk about this here and there, hopefully I'll make another video on this at some point. I try to make the videos when I think it's most important, and right now I think it's a timely, time to do this. When we look at this, I think the name of the game is we got to defy gravity. I mean, that's really what it is. We got to defy the odds. This cycle has to be the cycle that changes everything. Otherwise, let's talk about the case scenario where it doesn't. We peak in November all the way till, say, February. And that puts us anywhere from $127,000 to $131,000. And that, at the end of the day, might be the case. And some of you might be saying, well, I'd be cool with that as well. But I can tell you, I mean, just a minute ago, I posted something on my Instagram where I was talking about this. And within literally 2 minutes, 120 seconds, I had a person respond, I just sold everything. There are people that right now are starting to sell. This is now going to get tricky. There's a lot going through our minds right now, and I'm curious what you guys think of where this is going to head. Are we going to melt faces this cycle? Where are we going to go? I'm showing you all this, where the wallet is, because I want you guys to realize I'm I'm not just talking the talk. I'm not a financial YouTuber talking about Bitcoin. I'm walking the walk, trading it out, and trying to make the best decisions with my money. So if you got value out of today's video, guys, I would appreciate it so much if you could click that like button. Let me know in the comments, and yeah, we'll see you in the next video and see what happens. Good luck if you guys are holding Bitcoin, and we will see you on the next video.